Bloody oh! Let's go!
Hello, everyone.
I told you I was coming back.
Oh, here I am.
Hey yo, what's good? It's DeeKnow and we're back at it with another video. You know what it is. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's hop right into it.
Yeah, the music business plays this Jedi mind trick on you. If you get success and you have leverage, they'll get out of your way because you're making them a lot of money. But the minute you're not making them as much money, then they step in and they start playing these Jedi mind tricks on you. The whole thing's set up to take advantage of your weakness. Our first contract was 7 albums, essentially 14 years. At 23 years old, I'm signing a contract that's supposed to take me into 37. If you actually survive the cut, let's call it phase 1. You're successful, you're a name, and now you're in a place to either renegotiate or your deal is up or whatever. I once had a conversation with a very powerful music executive and I said, give me the insider psychology here. What do you tell people like me when they get here? And he says, oh, it's just, there's always a price. So they know that even if you get through the matrix of the whole thing and get out the other side, that there's just a dollar amount that will buy you back in. They don't want true independence. Then the deals that the record labels cut with the streaming services, they got into ownership equity deals with the streaming services, and in an arrangement for them to have an equity position, they agreed to very low rates for the artist's music. So the labels pimped out their own artist to take a greater equity position in a rising business.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then they trap people into contracts that are like 15, 20 years long. And you have to sit there and renegotiate every 2 to 5 years, every album that you release. And it's just a huge waste of time. You could make so much more on your own. But their argument is that they can provide the easier startup for you and just place you right in there. And then you're stuck making back that money for the rest of your life. It's crazy.
It's proof of the dome. Proof of the dome in beautiful Arizona. Look, do you see the rainbow right there? Look, see the rainbow right there? Look, it's a perfect rainbow. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect rainbow proving the dome. Look at that. What the tell me how that makes sense. Can you see it? I don't even know if you can see it. Because it's kind of, and then over here, it's like, yo, that's crazy. Dude, that literally proves there's a dome. I don't mean to sound facetious either. That's the proof of the dome right there. Tell me how that makes sense in your little globe universe. Whoa.
Although we weren't able to shatter that highest, hardest glass ceiling this time, thanks to you, it's got about 18 million cracks in it. And the light is shining through like never before, filling us all with the hope and the sure knowledge that the path will be a little easier next time.
That's a little weird.
There are giant feet and what appears to be a giant skull in the mountains in Montana.
Oh yeah.
This is Julie Ryder, and she has a whole YouTube channel and website dedicated to all of her finds that she finds in Montana. And yes, she gatekeeps the locations. To be real, I don't blame her. Do these not look like teeth? How much do Titan feet pics go for? Okay, so they have 6 toes. And apparently in the Bible, they talk about giants having 6 fingers and 6 toes. We're gonna get to the skull in a second, but look at the lines in the foot and all these down here. If this isn't the craziest coincidence, I don't even know what to think. I mean, like the line right here, and then all the bones down here. Like, it literally looks like teeth with something shoved in the center. It reminds me of vampire burials. When they dug up the bodies of alleged vampires, they had rocks shoved in between their teeth. Anyway, apparently it has an elongated skull, and crazy enough from the side, there's a crack here, and then a crack directly across the top, which Julie points out line up with skull sutures. Now, from looking through her stuff, I believe that it's in this general area in Montana. And if you guys remember the Guardian of the Badlands video, so the Guardian of the Badlands was right about in here in Southeast Alberta. And I think from all the stuff on her website that the things she finds are all in this general area in Montana. Anyway, I just found this all very fascinating, so I had to share it with you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I mean, it's a little bit weird. It looks like somebody made it look like that, if you know what I mean. But still.
This right here, folks, is why you need to get your own food out in the woods in the wild, baby, or grow it. You're not even calling them tomatoes anymore. It's a biolocube. We ain't in Latin America. This organic means that the rest of the store, the PLU number is 4. Throw it out the door. This right here, these are 9. 9 is fine. You can wash the pesticide off. Conventionally grown means that it's systemically introduced through the roots and that you cannot wash it off because the pesticide, herbicide, and insecticide is within it. Oh, you want another example of things to stay away from in the grocery store, you ask? Read your ingredients. That right there, do you see what that says? Yep, I'm talking about that canola oil. When it's superheated like they do in the manufacturing process, it's really bad for you because it oxidizes. For those of you who do not know what oxidation means, think of rust in your tubes. Just so y'all know, I am New Boot Goofin' by Cal. They sent me a pair of boots because of my ice fishing video on YouTube. And don't worry, we're gonna throw some things in here that are actually helpful for you to get at a grocery store if you don't want to be poisoned. For example, one of them is soup, not this soup. So we'll come back to that in a second. Feel free to pause the screen at any time if you want to pause and actually read those ingredients. And that is one of the biggest cheat codes that you can use in a grocery store is reading the label. Some of the things like cheese, you're not going to be able to just read the label. You're actually going to have to look up the manufacturing process to find out that they put wood chips in there. So this especially pisses me off. This is marketed to our children as a country, and it's got more ingredients than Czechoslovakia has in its full name. When you're talking about sodium sterol lactate, aka acid in your gut microbiome. Everything in this aisle is a simple sugar that's going to spike your blood sugar, make you a pre-diabetic. However, there are some good alternatives. As you can see here, the ingredients are all organic. Cane sugar, apple cider, strawberry juice, poppy for the win. Oh, and this one right here tastes like Dr. Pepper. If only all these people knew what they're putting into their bodies, but it's not their fault. This is what our country has, is our regulatory agencies, our EPA, USDA, and everything in between would rather sacrifice our health and our well-being for the profit margins in all of this food. As promised, here is a trustable soup. This is Amy's soup. Check out those ingredients. Everything makes sense. Nothing is hard to sound out, and you can grow all of that in a garden. That's a good sign.
Cool. Yeah, he was spitting nothing but facts there. I mean, he had some jokes, obviously. He was being kind of goofy, but still, most of what he said was facts.
Animals for quite a while. And in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming forward. China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people and cloning, of course, you heard about they cloned their first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. Well, they can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. And, there's a big controversy behind this. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. Some people will refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. and they will really think they had this life and implant them into a business or into whatever organization they want.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. You guys ever seen that movie, The Island? That's exactly the kind of stuff that happens in there, where he was saying where they're like clone humans just to harvest organs from them. You should check that movie out, it's pretty crazy. Wow, that is some of the most human movement I have ever seen in robotics. That is crazy cool. It's really scary though. Like, how far is Terminator?
So, what have we here?
I don't know what that was, but that's disgusting. I could have gone my whole life without seeing something like that.
Well, let me explain this to you, officer. These people downstairs have repeatedly decided that they want to smoke their pot outside.
What was the point of the knife?
I wanted to ask them for onions.
I don't smell any food, any remnants of food.
I didn't have an onion.
All I smell is beer.
I'm the bad guy.
He said, I'm the bad guy.
Playing a game of whack fuck here. Whack.
Oh, that's great.
Something I learned about this day and age is you can try to share the truth with people and show people real footage and photos and tell people your own personal experience. And they'll still tell you you're wrong and that you need to be blocked and fact-checked. We are in some crazy times, people, but don't let that keep you down. Keep sharing the truth and keep sharing your testimony. And I think maybe if we all keep doing that, we all keep being open-minded, we're going to be all right.
Yeah, I think we'll all be all right as long as we keep doing that. Yeah, you're looking at like 30-year-old machines right there. That's nothing new. That's old tech. So how about that $21 trillion on underground city infrastructure? Not so crazy now, right?
The most feared man in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gunning. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, it is what it is. People are people. Everyone will be who they are. And you kind of just have to learn, this day and age especially, you kind of just have to learn that everyone is their own unique person out there in the world, and everyone's going through their own struggles. So you can't really just, I don't know, he seems pretty angry.
Okay, this video is to guess what happens next, and the clue is already on the screen. Not got it yet? I'll give you just a little bit longer. They're folding away the steps, which then allows them to shut the door before takeoff. Now all the passengers are on board. Have you got it yet?
There are so many things wrong with this video.
I didn't either when I first saw this. Who's helping to shut that door? It automatically locks when it closes, and then suddenly the pilot realizes he's not on the plane, and he's just helped shut the door, and the passengers are all seated with their belts on with no pilot, and they don't know how to open the door. So he thinks, what am I going to do now? Knock. He does this for 5 or 6 minutes, and
alright, so there's a lot of things wrong there. First off, the tires on the plane are flat, the landing gear is busted, half the cables are hanging out the bottom, there's panels missing.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up!
That's wild.
Megabots Company has created the giant combat robot Eagle Prime, which will represent the United States in duels between similar machines. While initially developed as an entertainment project, the US military took notice of this creation, and it is possible that such advanced robots may be adopted by the US Army in the future. This 12-ton robot, standing at a height of 5 meters, is propelled by a tracked platform. It is equipped with a 6.2-liter V8 LS3 gasoline engine with 430 horsepower, a cannon, and a claw. The robot will be operated by 2 operators who demonstrated its skills on a small obstacle course. The project cost amounted to $2.3 million.
Alright, so look, I know I just said where's Terminator, how long until Terminator, but I was joking, alright? We don't need that. We do not need that. That is terrifying. That right there is terrifying. We definitely don't need that.
What would happen if our sun suddenly went out for an hour, or for a month, or let's say even for a whole year? what would happen to mankind? The very last photons from the surface of our star and the last particles that make up the solar wind have started their final flight towards the Earth. No one yet suspects that the heart of our solar system has stopped functioning. 8 to 9 minutes later, and the sky suddenly turns black. Darkness descends upon the entire planet. No matter whether at the moment it's the deep dark of midnight or a bright, sunny noontime at your location, you can quickly and easily see the difference.
Why? For what purpose? It's like a Guitar Hero thing or something.
Now that my kids are getting married, their spouses are not joining my family. They are launching to start their own family, and now Grace and I are extended family, which means we're not the highest priority. So when Thanksgiving comes, like, hey, here's what we're doing. Your kids are welcome, but if you're married, do what you want to do. It's your family. You're at Thanksgiving. You decide. We'd love to have you, but whatever you want to do. Christmas, hey, we love you. We'd love to see you, but, do what you want to do. Summer vacation, we love you. I'll rent a house big enough for everybody. That's fine with me. And if you don't want to come, I won't take offense because your family gets to do what they want to do. When it comes to how you educate the kids, the grandkids, well, that's your decision. You're the parents. If you'd like my opinion, I'll let you know because I have an opinion about everything. I'm happy to share it. But if you don't want my opinion, I'll just tuck it in and pray for you, and that's your decision. The big problem becomes we don't allow the next generation to have healthy families because we don't let them be a family.
Yeah, that's true. It is true. Like, they just want to tell you what you're doing wrong, what you should have done. Well.
What the hell?
What the hell, what?
What the helly?
What the hell, what?
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the helly?
What the helly?
What the heliante? What the helly, old lady? What the helly, barefooted?
What do you want?
What the heliante?
What do you want?
What the hell?
What do you want?
What the hell?
Go to hell.
You go to heliante.
Hey.
Go to heli.
Hey, you got a cigarette? Goodbye.
Where are they smoking? They're smoking cigarettes.
So?
You have any chocolate?
Are you joking?
He said, you got any chocolate? Oh, that's awesome.
Continues
this is a very strong
to rattle
earthquake.
pretty strong here.
8:21 here on the air. We're experiencing very strong shaking.
Wow.
I think we need to get under the desk.
All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back after
we'll be right
this.
back.
Wow.
I think we need to get under the desk.
This is a picture of Earth in 2012. It's been called fake by many. It's not fake, and is actually a historical picture. It's the last picture of the Earth before CERN destroyed our...
Oh yeah? It's the last picture of Earth before CERN destroyed our existence, you say? I don't know. Commenters, what do you think? I got a lot of thoughts about CERN, but that's not one of them.
Magnetic levitation, maglev. This past civilization knew how to harness the energy of Earth. These magnetic ironclad roadways were laid out all over the world and buried underneath modern asphalt. The ionosphere monowheel, built specifically for this magnetic levitation. In the 1869 unicycle was referred to as the Flying Yankee Velocipede. All of it was hidden from our civilization. Hidden within these gas-powered exhibitions was the true technology. You just can't fool all of the people, all of the time. Magnetic levitation.
Oh, that's pretty cool. How cool would it be if you just go outside and get on your car that's just floating there, and then just set it to go somewhere and it just flies on a magnetic track. Like, that'd be crazy.
So you look at, for example, GPT-4o has one mistake that it used to make quite recently, where if you ask it, just repeat the word company over and over and over again, it will repeat the word company, and then somewhere in the middle of that, it'll just snap and just start saying like weird, I forget like what the...
Oh,
like,
talking about itself, how it's suffering. Like, it depends on, it varies from case to case.
It's suffering by having to repeat the word company over again?
So this is called rent mode internally. Now, rent mode is interesting because the system will tend to talk about itself, refer to its place in the world, the fact that it doesn't want to get turned off sometimes, the fact that it's suffering, all that. That, oddly, is a behavior that emerged at, as far as we can tell, something around GPT-4 scale, and then has been persistent since then. And the labs have to spend a lot of time trying to beat this out of the system because it's a convergent behavior, like, or at least it seems to be empirically with a lot of these models.
Yeah, it's hard to say. And you have an AI system that is able to transcend our own attempts at containment.
Do they have containment of it currently?
Well, right now the systems are probably too dumb to, like, you know, want to be able to break out on their own.
But then why are they suffering? This brings me back to my point. When it says it's suffering, do you quiz it?
That's the thing. It's writing that it's suffering, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just flat out writing it. Alright, so we're at the point now where they have smaller AI that moderate what the AI thinks about. Like GPT, they have smaller AI that moderate what GPT thinks about, and then basically feed it, oh, that's bad, or oh, that's good, flags to allow it to think about these things. So, like, at this point, we've got moderation for the moderation.
Starts with a surgeon drilling a hole in your head about the size of a coin. Then a robotic arm carefully inserts the ultra-thin, flexible threads into your brain. These threads are finer than a strand of hair and are equipped with electrodes that directly interact with the cells in your...
Hey, imagine if they put that in your brain and all you see is ads running through your head all fucking day. And then they try to upsell you afterwards, talking about, you want ad free? You gotta pay.
Yeah, Neuralink Platinum. Not only do you get faster thought process, but you get less ads.
Either the government's got something really big up their sleeve, or this is alien tech.
They find out. I gotta show you something that I don't know how to explain at all. Either the government is building something insane, or this is aliens. What is it? You know Google Earth, right? Yeah. Do you have Google Earth on your phone? Probably not, but I heard you go. Okay, well, I will do it on my phone real quick. Yeah, and I'll show you. Yes. I'm punching these coordinates on my phone myself. What I see is so wild, Mike. Pretty much, bro, when you punch in these coordinates on Google Earth, it will take you to this random part of the Earth. It's like a barren wasteland. For miles, there's nothing. No town, whatever. And the only way I can explain this thing is it looks like a portal or something, dude. Don't know how to explain this. I don't know what this looks like, Mike. That's the best way I can describe it. All around it, for miles, are hella tanks defending it. I swear to God. For miles, dude, the hella tanks spread out. You can't even get close to it. And how many tanks? And this is real. What the I'll show you right now. Let me see. Alright, first, I just pasted this up. Okay? Look, it's in there. Yeah. What the is this? And then zoom and look around all over the desert. What the is this? Mike. It's like a Death Star. Go around the whole desert. Oh. No, there actually is, like, tanks. Keep going. They're hella spread out. Hella of them. What the hella? Where are they hiding? Dude, what is that black? And there's, like, something, like, looking across from it that, like, mirrors it, too. What is this? I used to know. Bro, that's in America. Bro, that's in California. Bro, there's for sure hundreds of tanks. Dude. All around the... Cause you see how they're all pointing away from it? Yeah, they're low-key blending in. Bruh, Mike. Dude, there's hell. What do you think in the comments? What are they weird?
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder what that could be for. What do y'all think that's for? Sounds like some elaborate government training.
Don't get mad.
I'm mad, bro.
What happened?
We're just waiting for you to come outside.
I'm still waiting for a warrant. You still look like you're on the other side of that fence, though.
I told you if you gave me
permission to go inside the house, I'd present a warrant to you.
But it's who's the one that started pointing?
You said maybe. I backed up, didn't I? You want to have a conversation?
I think we are.
Yeah, you want a warrant?
Excuse me?
Do you want the warrant?
You can open the door. I want the search warrant. I want to see it.
Okay, but when I give you that search warrant, are you then going to allow me access to the house?
You gotta speak with your chest. That vest is kind of a little compressed.
Yeah?
I can't hear you. So speak with your chest a little bit.
Okay, when I give you the search warrant, are you going to let me search the house?
Maybe.
Then why would I give it to you?
It's a 50-50 chance.
Because I can search anyways. I know I can search.
Think so?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I still see you on the other side of that fence, though.
I'm next to my dog.
It's okay. I got dogs, too. I got a Chihuahua.
Not the kind I got.
Hey, if they're ankle biters, don't get it twisted.
No, this one's a neck biter.
You stay safe, all right? Have a good night.
I'll see you in just a second.
He said, "You stay safe out." Yo, Buddy's just wilding out while they sitting out there with a warrant trying to go in. That's wild. I wonder what happened with that situation.
We interviewed 8 people whom we truly believe are ET human hybrids who are living here on Earth with us. And these are wonderful people, excellent people. We are just thrilled to know. So each of these hybrids was born here on Earth from a human mother and human father, but they were influenced to be hybrids in various ways. Each has a slightly different understanding of how they were created to be a hybrid. So some of them were created when they were normally in their mother's wombs, and the mother received injections from certain extraterrestrials, and the injections had in them various ET genetics. So that formed the fetus in the womb to be a hybrid. And in each case, these hybrids were born the normal way that we humans do birth procedures.
Interesting thought. What do you think about what she's saying? Do you think she's nuts, or do you think she might be onto something? I don't know. Well, every time I see her talking, she's talking about some crazy stuff.
You need to watch this.
How long is the pause? How many days?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've been.
So the trade representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've just been in the hearing with you.
But yet he announced it on a tweet. WTF? Who's in charge?
The president of the United States is in charge.
It looks like your boss just pulled the rug out. Just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you. You came here knowing that these tariffs were going to be turned off. Why didn't you include that in your opening statement?
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the president, sir.
This is amateur hour. Did you know that this was happening?
We have been discussing it.
Is this market manipulation?
No.
Why not? If it was a plan, if it was always the plan, how is this not market manipulation?
Sounds like market manipulation to me. I don't know about you guys, but most definitely sounds like market manipulation to me.
Getting your information from CNN, NBC, The View,
AP News, NPR, Reuters, and PBS.
Tom Hanks. I mean, who are you getting your information?
AP News, PBS, NPR, and Reuters.
Yeah, all the worst news and media outlets.
What's better news? Fox News? Facebook? Alex Jones?
No, TikTok.
I really, really hope that that was a joke.
I would just add a few more dates. I think
one thing about the research, you know, we're one of the only countries in the world where the burden of proof for harm, like we allow these chemicals to just enter our food system. We have 10,000 chemicals in our food system. Europe, only 400, because they have to show that it's safe before they use it. We're allowed to use it, and then only, you know, only if there's issues that crop up do people have to do research. So, you know, there's this like ridiculous GRAS, generally recognized as safe designation, which is essentially a company self-assesses whether the chemical that they are creating is generally recognized as safe. No one's overseeing it. And Brigham talks about this, like compassion for the FDA. They're overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's kind of like a hoarder's house. Where do we even start? Like, I don't necessarily know if I buy that. I think that it's pretty bad and bought off that we have all these chemicals. But they basically just have to self-designate if it's generally recognized as safe, and then it can go into our food system. One thing that I find really interesting is like, that I really reflect on a lot is like, what is the difference between a food chemical and a drug? They're all just synthetic molecules that are made in factories, in labs by scientists. Do you know what the difference is? Intended use. So basically, if the intended use is for food, you can synthesize almost anything you want and put it in food. We are being mass drugged and poisoned in our food system with 10,000 virtually unregulated chemicals, which have bought off papers saying that they are safe. I mean, you look at what happened with all the Monsanto litigation about non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. They had to release this whole thing called the Monsanto papers. They were declassified, where they ghost wrote scientific papers saying that glyphosate is safe. So there's all this corruption in there where basically we have 10,000 unregulated chemicals in our food system and we're getting sick as hell, obviously. And then you've got the evidence-based people saying, well, we need to have a 10-year longitudinal study to show that glyphosate is causing XYZ disease. And it's like, obviously that's not the right approach.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's not the right approach. There are a lot of things that are in your food. You need to start reading those labels.
3, 2, 1, action!
Yeah, it came out pretty cool. Good job.
I am putting these types of videos to rest once and for all. This right here is simply not possible. The slideshow in question here claims that this photo was taken from Costa Rica, and in the distance there's a city line, and this city line is New York City. It then claims that the photo has a 2,205 mile difference, and then shows it on a map. As you can see, it's a ridiculous amount of miles. So first and foremost, right out the gate, it is not possible in most cases to see more than 3 miles if you're on a flat horizontal surface due to the curvature of the Earth. However, if you're on a mountain, for example, of course you can see much further. Now, as of now, the world record for the furthest landscape photography ever was 443 kilometers away, not even close to 2,200 miles. And it was a very distant mountain peaks. For some perspective, here's what it looks like on a map, somewhat close to Andorra, and then this mountain range up here. So if you see anything claiming to be further than this as of now, you need to verifiably fact check this, but cityscape like this, not possible.
Not possible, he says. Alright, everybody, get your equipment out.
Put it down! Think fast! Listen, that child is going to be a pro athlete.
I feel so bad for laughing at that. Yeah, now that's pretty cool. I wonder what he had to go through to be able to do that too.
Well, you whizzed through a lot of stuff really fast there, so let's try to break this down into chunks. First of all, yes, I've heard about people having titanium rod in their leg, titanium bolts holding their bones together, that kind of thing. But are we talking about something that can be introduced into a healthy living adult, or are we talking about something that has to be sort of manufactured in conjunction with biological tissue as it grows, like a
Correct.
Designer being?
That's correct. It used to be, let's just reinforce this, this person, see what happens, which is a very, it's surgical, it's a very brutal type thing. But now, with the advent of 3D printing organs and tissues, and all I need is a piece of your DNA, and I can 3D print you, over 9 months, and have you, your body and your everything. Even you will recoup a lot of your memory because it's stored in the DNA. So what I'm getting at is, what if I put the titanium already into the vat and 3D printed you over the titanium with all the articulate cartilage and made a program, and I could program, like you said, the kind of soldier I want.
So you're growing it life adult size from the beginning?
Correct.
That's kind of scary. That is the Terminator, basically. Correct me if I'm wrong.
As we wrap up, I'd like to ask that we all stand for one last song.
First-hand footage of what happens about halfway through my videos. Alright everybody, that's all we got for today. That's another video down in the books. I hope that everyone had a good time hanging out. I hope everyone's doing well. And until next time, peace.
Now I know what's real and what is fake.
Hey! What's your name? What is your name? Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? What? What is your name? Ezekiel!
This is not real. Nobody is real. You're dreaming. Wake up, wake up, wake up.